It's thrilling to have a close encounter with a wild animal, but it can also be dangerous. And it doesn't have to be something big like a moose, a cougar, or a bear that could hurt you or even kill you. It could be as small as a bat. You may not see bats often, but they're around and they're important. Each night, they can eat their body weight in insects, numbering in the thousands. That's great for farms, gardens, and homes, but not great. Bats are also the most common carriers of rabies.
Almost 100% fatal all the time, so very few people have ever survived it.
Sandy Phillips and her team at the Spokane Regional Health District identified one case of a rabid bat this summer in Spokane County. There was one case last year, too.
I was not looking for, an experience with a bat.
Amy Edwards was cleaning off her deck last Labor Day in Eagle Ridge and moved some patio furniture cushions leaning up against the outside of the house.
I am just, wiping them down in bare feet. And the next thing I know, I'm like, there's something on my foot. And I move the cushion, and there was the bat on my foot, on my bare foot. So, of course, I freaked.
Yeah, of course.
And I kicked it off and then ran through the house.
Once she calmed down, Amy watched the bat for a while from inside the house. And you can see from this video she took, something was off.
It was just moving slowly. It really was out of sorts.
Yeah. A neighbor boy came over with gloves and a little cage and captured it. Then she called the health district.
I don't know if it bit me because it was so quick. And I guess their teeth are so small, you don't even realize. So she suggested I went to the ER immediately.
The bat tested positive for rabies, so Amy had to begin a specific protocol.
It is several shots around the location where you might have been exposed. So it was about 20 shots on my foot.
That was just the first round. She had to go back 3 days later, then another 7 days, and finally 14 days later for more shots.
So the process was kind of lengthy, but the survival rate is less than 1%. So
worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Sandy Phillips said Amy did the right things, and she wants you to have a basic understanding of the risks and how to prevent rabies exposure. Even though it's rare, it needs to be taken seriously. The Spokane Regional Health District wants you to share this information with your family. Do not handle wild animals, especially bats. Teach children to never touch or handle bats, even dead ones. Have a child tell an adult if they find a bat at home, school, or with a pet. Make sure your pets are vaccinated against rabies in case they tangle with a bat. Other animals can have rabies too, like raccoons, skunks, and foxes. If you keep windows open, especially at night, make sure you have screens that are intact. Bats can get through really small holes.
If you're sleeping and then you wake up, your door's closed, you wake up to find a bat in your room, that would be a concern because especially if you're a really heavy sleeper or don't wake easily, or if you have, say, a child or a disabled person in your home, you might not see a bite or a scratch. Tiny, tiny little teeth and little claws.
You always hear about rabies, but I think until you experience something like that, you don't really understand that it's a very, very serious disease.
And what do you do if you find a bat? Well, if it's at night and it's doing normal bat things, don't do anything, just leave it alone. If it is daytime and you encounter a bat that's behaving out of the ordinary, don't touch it. Call the health district for instructions. You can also check out its website. There's a lot of really helpful information there. We have a link to it in this story that'll be posted on KXLY.com.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a wild story there. And you talk about how serious rabies is. When I guess if you don't know that you've been bit, are there any first symptoms that you should be looking out for? What happens if it gets too far along?
Well, and that's the crazy thing. They say once you experience symptoms, sometimes it is too far along. What happens is you'll feel like flu-like symptoms at first, then it progresses and gets very, very dangerous. Rabies attacks the central nervous system, so it starts shutting things down. You will start hallucinating. You might go into a coma and die. So don't take it lightly.
Not worth the risk. Less than 1% survival rate.
Yeah, very scary stuff.
Wild.